Good evening. We just saw in the news in the last week that a aide to former state senator and state senate president Montalbano was charged with forging $70,000 worth of checks in the names of Senate pages. Now, these are young men and women who went to the Rhode Island Senate to learn something about civics, about government. And what did they get a lesson in? They got a lesson in Rhode Island politics, and that is that public corruption is alive and well in Rhode Island, and it's time to put a stop to it. We've seen news reporters breaking stories about public employees on the payroll, on the taxpayer dime, doing their own work using public equipment, playing with the time clocks, fast-forwarding them so that they get more pay. We've seen the stories about the Department of Labor and Training employees who themselves spent almost 34 hours while being followed for 3 weeks by Tim White and his investigative reporting team at home doing personal errands. Are you fed up with it? Are you fed up with the land deal that went on with the landfill, with the Johnston landfill, Rhode Island Resource Recovery, where a powerful Democratic family received a sweetheart deal for wetlands polluted that they sold to the state for over $5 million? You fed up with that kind of corruption? Are you ready to fight to take back your state? Well, if you're ready to fight, I'm ready to lead. My name is Erik Wallin, and I would like to be your next Attorney General. Thank you. As your Attorney General, I will take on the public corruption that continues to waste your tax dollars while the political insiders line their pockets with your money and Rhode Island's future. And I'll do that by forming a public corruption unit in the Attorney General's office, a task force. We'll have seasoned prosecutors assigned to take on these public corruption cases and complement that with a 24-hour tip line for Rhode Islanders to join the fight in taking back their state. These people are calling television reporters, and I ask you why. Well, my belief is that they have no confidence that the Attorney General's office has the courage to take on the political insiders in this state because the Attorney General's office in the past 12 years is too tied with those political insiders. Well, we're going to change that, and I promise you that I have the courage, the independence, and the integrity to follow the road of corruption and root it out no matter where that corruption trail leads and no matter to whom. There's other tough issues we need to take on in this state. Gangs are spreading a wave of terrorism across our urban cities, and they present a real and present danger to our outlying communities. Gang violence, you've seen the carnage in the newspapers. Individuals, people standing out on porches, being shot, caught as innocent bystanders during these gang wars that are raging in our urban cities. But you've got to realize that this problem isn't limited there. Nationally, the trend is that gangs are moving to smaller communities. They're moving to suburban areas. They're moving to smaller cities. And that trend isn't different in Rhode Island. We've seen gangs move into Cranston. There have been midday shootings in Cranston where individuals who are at places like a barber shop are being hit by gang fire. We see gang shootings in Warwick. We've seen them move into the low-income housing units in Newport, where we see gang graffiti, which is a billboard of violence to come. We've got to stop it because it is coming to a community near you if it's not there already. And I have a plan to do that. I will attack the gang problem realizing that one of the biggest issues is that gangs recruit youth into their mix. So we've got to have a plan that actually incorporates an educational component to it, prevention. We have to put together a plan, and we have to bring together teachers and social workers and as well as our law enforcement bodies to go in and to teach kids about the dangers of gang activity. We also have to have an intervention plan. So when a community sees gang activity developing in their town, the more experienced individuals can come in and show them how to do it. So I'll have a gang force, I'll have a gang advisory committee, in which we'll bring together the law enforcement and these teachers and these educators so that we can help communities when they see a gang issue developing. Finally, we've got to toughen our laws. In Rhode Island, we don't have a single law that specifically deals with gangs. So I will push for legislation and fight hard for it, adding additional penalties to those who commit crimes in furtherance or at the direction of a gang. And I will push to make it a crime, a felony, for those who recruit minors into gangs. As Attorney General, I will work to make Rhode Island a safer and more prosperous place for all of its citizens, independents, Republicans, and Democrats alike. Thank you very much.